The girl next door. When I moved into the small, sunlit apartment on Maple Street, I wasn't looking for love. I had just started a new job in a new city, and my life felt like a blank page waiting to be filled with routines, responsibilities, and maybe a few weekend adventures. What I didn't expect was her, the girl next door. Her name was Emily. The first time I saw her, she was struggling with a stack of grocery bags outside her door. I offered to help, and she smiled at me like I was an old friend, not a stranger. That smile, it lingered in my mind long after I returned to my place. Emily was everything I wasn't. She loved morning walks. I was barely awake before 10. She played soft acoustic music on her balcony. I listened to old jazz records. But somehow, we kept finding excuses to meet. A borrowed cup of sugar, a forgotten package, a shared laugh over the terrible landlord. Day by day, she became part of my routine. The best part, we started spending evenings talking over tea. At first, it was just about little things, books, music, dreams we half joked about. But soon the conversations grew deeper, stretching into midnight confessions about heartbreak, fear, and hope. I began to notice the way she tucked her hair behind her ear when she was nervous. The way her eyes sparkled when she talked about art. The way her laugh filled the silence like sunlight through clouds. Then one rainy Thursday, everything changed. We were sitting in her living room, wrapped in a blanket, watching a storm blur the city lights. She turned to me and said, almost too quietly to hear, "Do you ever feel like something wonderful is just waiting for you to be brave enough to reach for it?" I didn't answer right away. My heart was pounding, every second stretching like a lifetime. Then I leaned in and kissed her. That moment was the beginning of everything. We became inseparable, but not in a perfect, fairy tale way. We argued about dishes, got lost on road trips, and disagreed on movies. But in every moment, ordinary or extraordinary, I was grateful. She taught me how to live slowly, how to notice beauty, how to love deeply. Years later, when we finally moved out of that apartment, Emily left a note on my pillow. "I'll always love you for being the boy who helped me carry groceries and ended up carrying my heart. And I'll always love her for being the girl next door who became my whole world." The light between two hearts. Once upon a time, in a quiet coastal town, lived a young woman named Elena, who spent her days painting seascapes and dreaming of faraway places. Her world was full of color, but it lacked something she couldn't name, until she met Aiden, a travel photographer who had come to the town on a brief assignment. They met by chance on a rainy afternoon, both seeking shelter in a small, book-filled cafe. Aiden noticed Elena sketching waves on a napkin, and without hesitation, sat beside her and asked, "Do you always draw the sea, even when it's stormy outside?" She smiled and replied, "Especially then." Their connection was instant. Days turned into weeks as they spent hours exploring hidden coves, sharing stories under starlit skies, and capturing each other's worlds, hers through paint, his through photographs. Elena showed Aiden the magic of stillness. Aiden showed Elena the beauty of motion. But time was not their friend. Aiden's work required him to leave, and the night before his departure, they sat on the edge of the pier, silent, holding hands, letting the sea speak for them. "I don't want to be just a memory," Elena whispered. "You won't," he promised. "I'll come back for you." True to his word, Aiden returned a year later, not with just photos, but with a plan to stay. He opened a small gallery in town, where Elena's paintings and his photographs danced side by side on the walls. Together, they built a life full of art, laughter, and endless shorelines. Years later, when asked how they knew it was love, Elena would say, "Because even when we were apart, his heart never left mine." And Aiden would smile and add, "She was always the lighthouse that guided me home."